The biggest tragedy in Canadian aviation history. The Bombardier CS100 was the world's best narrow-body aircraft, but now it belongs to Airbus. Quebec government's billions in investment, 15,000 Canadian jobs, and national pride, all transferred to Airbus for free. This isn't just a business story. This is about how Canada lost its aviation soul, how American protectionism backfired spectacularly, and how Airbus executed the greatest corporate heist in aviation history without spending a single euro. The aircraft that was supposed to make Canada a global aviation superpower instead became a symbol of how small nations get crushed between superpowers, even when they build the best product. The Canadian dream. The Bombardier CS100 represented everything Canada aspired to be in aviation. Technological superiority. The CS100 was 20% more fuel efficient than any competing aircraft. Its Pratt & Whitney GTF engines and advanced materials made it the most environmentally friendly narrow body ever built. Economic investment. Canada invested over $6 billion in public money through various federal and provincial programs. The Quebec government alone provided $1.3 billion in direct investment, believing they were securing Canada's aviation future. National pride. The CS100 was Canada's answer to Boeing and Airbus dominance. For the first time since the Avro Aero, Canada had an aircraft that could compete globally and showcase Canadian engineering excellence. Job creation. The program supported 15,000 high-paying jobs across Canada, from Montreal manufacturing to supply chain partners in every province. These weren't just jobs, they were careers in cutting-edge aerospace technology. The American Sabotage. Boeing couldn't compete with the CS100's superior technology, so they chose corporate warfare. The Delta Catalyst. When Delta Airlines ordered 75 CS100s at a massive discount, Boeing filed a trade complaint claiming Bombardier was dumping aircraft below cost due to Canadian subsidies. Government weaponization. Boeing convinced the U.S. Commerce Department to impose a devastating 300% import tariff on CS100 aircraft, making them impossibly expensive for U.S. airlines. Market manipulation. The tariff wasn't about fair trade. It was about eliminating superior competition. Boeing couldn't match the CS100's efficiency, so they used political influence to destroy it. Economic terrorism. Boeing's actions threatened to bankrupt Bombardier and eliminate Canada's aerospace capabilities entirely. This wasn't business competition, it was national economic warfare. The financial collapse. Boeing's sabotage campaign devastated Bombardier's finances. Order cancellations. The U.S. tariff scared away potential customers worldwide. Airlines feared buying aircraft that might face similar trade barriers in their markets. Cash crisis. Bombardier's cash position became critical. The company that had invested decades building aerospace expertise faced potential bankruptcy within months. Stock collapse. Bombardier's share price collapsed by 60%, wiping out billions in market value and devastating Canadian pension funds and retail investors. Supplier impact. Hundreds of Canadian suppliers faced potential bankruptcy as Bombardier orders dried up, threatening the entire Canadian aerospace ecosystem. The Airbus opportunity. While Bombardier struggled, Airbus saw an incredible opportunity. Zero investment required. Airbus offered to take majority control of the CS100 program without paying Bombardier a cent. They would simply assume operational control. Technology transfer. Airbus gained access to the world's most advanced narrow-body aircraft technology, worth billions in development costs, completely free. Manufacturing network. The deal included Bombardier's state-of-the-art Montreal facility and highly skilled Canadian workforce, ready to produce aircraft immediately. Market position. Airbus instantly gained a competitive narrow body to challenge Boeing's 737 MAX, without the years of development time and billions in investment. The devastating deal. In July 2018, the transfer was completed. 50.1% Airbus control. Airbus took majority ownership of the CS100 program for zero payment, gaining complete operational control. Rebranding theft. The aircraft was immediately rebranded as the Airbus A220, erasing Canadian identity and marketing the plane as European innovation. Technology appropriation. All CS100 patents, designs, and innovations became Airbus intellectual property, representing decades of Canadian R&D investment. Manufacturing integration. Montreal became just another Airbus facility, with Canadian workers now building aircraft for European profit. The Quebec betrayal. The Quebec government's response revealed the depth of the tragedy. Investment loss. Quebec's $1.3 billion investment yielded no return, no ownership, and no control over the aircraft they funded. Job insecurity. While jobs were initially preserved, Canadian workers now served Airbus rather than building Canadian aerospace capabilities. Strategic surrender. Quebec essentially paid Airbus to take over Canadian aerospace innovation, subsidizing their own industrial colonization. National humiliation. The provincial government celebrated the deal as saving jobs, while ignoring that they had sold Canada's aviation future. The Airbus triumph. For Airbus, the A220 became an extraordinary success. Market domination. The A220 quickly gained hundreds of orders, proving the CS100's original design brilliance, while generating billions for Airbus. Technology leadership. Airbus now owns the most advanced narrow-body technology without developing it themselves, leapfrogging Boeing in efficiency. Manufacturing expansion. Airbus used Canadian expertise to establish A220 production in Mobile, Alabama, further diluting Canadian influence. Brand success. The A220 is marketed globally as Airbus innovation, with no mention of Canadian origins or investment. The Boeing backfire. Ironically, Boeing's sabotage campaign failed completely. Tariff reversal. The WTO eventually overturned the U.S. tariffs, but too late to save Bombardier's ownership. Competitor strengthening. By forcing Bombardier into Airbus's arms, Boeing created a stronger competitor with better technology. Market loss. U.S. airlines now buy A220s, former CS100s, from Airbus instead of Boeing, despite Boeing's original protectionist campaign. Strategic failure. Boeing's attempt to eliminate competition instead gave their biggest rival the best narrow-body aircraft in the world. The Canadian aftermath. The A220 transfer devastated Canadian aerospace ambitions. Innovation drain. Canada's best aerospace engineers now work for Airbus rather than developing Canadian capabilities. Investment flight. Future aerospace investment flows to Airbus facilities rather than building Canadian capacity. Dependency creation. Canada became dependent on foreign aerospace companies rather than developing sovereign capabilities. National demoralization. The loss reinforced Canadian inferiority complex about competing with global superpowers. The global implications. The A220 story demonstrates how small nations lose in global corporate warfare. Innovation theft. Countries can invest billions developing superior technology only to see it transferred to global powers for free. Trade weaponization. Large nations can use trade policy to destroy competitors and force asset transfers. Corporate colonialism. Global corporations acquire innovation and capabilities without investment by exploiting national vulnerabilities. Economic warfare. Competition between superpowers destroys smaller nations caught in the middle. The tragic irony. The greatest irony is that the CS100/220 validated everything Canada believed about their aerospace capabilities. Technical vindication. The aircraft's commercial success proves Canadian engineering was world-class. Market validation. Hundreds of orders confirm that Canada had developed exactly what the world needed. Innovation recognition. Industry awards and customer satisfaction demonstrate Canadian technological leadership. Lost opportunity. All these successes now benefit Airbus rather than Canada, proving what could have been. The lasting lesson. The Airbus A220 story serves as a warning for any nation trying to compete in global aerospace. Sovereign capability. Countries must protect their strategic industries from foreign acquisition, even during financial crises. Trade vulnerability. Superior technology means nothing if larger powers can manipulate trade policy to destroy you. Partnership caution. Partnerships with global corporations often result in complete absorption and loss of national control. Innovation value. The world's best technology has no value if you can't protect it from corporate predators. Today, every A220 that takes off represents a piece of Canadian innovation serving European profits. The tragedy isn't just what Canada lost. It's what they could have become if they had found a way to protect their aerospace crown jewel. Canada built the world's best narrow-body aircraft and then gave it away. That's not just a business failure. It's a national tragedy that will echo through decades of lost opportunities and diminished dreams.